Thank you. Thank you, Masarat. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Hi, hello. Thank you for joining in. We are at the beginning of the session, and what I do like to do is just make everybody comfortable, make everybody feel safe. So in the chat, if you can please just let us know where you're connecting from, which part of the world you are coming in from. It's lovely to know where people are coming from, especially for Iqra as well. It's nice to know where attendees are joining in from. So let us know where you're joining in from. Choose one word to describe how you are feeling at the beginning of this session, and just get comfortable. Salam Sukaina, Salam Masuma. I do also want to mention that the session is being recorded. So if you wish to stay off screen, that's completely fine. If you feel comfortable enough to come on screen, please feel free to do so. If you would like to change your name to a pseudonym, do what you feel comfortable doing. If you want to be Twinkle Toes for the day, be Twinkle Toes. Just because I do shout out your names and I do call out your names from the chat, and if it's being recorded and if you wish for me not to say your name, be Twinkle Toes if you want to. So just feel comfortable to do what you feel like you need to do. Wonderful. Thank you, Rifat. Salam Amina from Mombasa, Kenya. Salam Zaynab. Salam Siddiqa. Alaikum salam. Alaikum salam. Welcome, everyone. Okay, so what I will do is, as Musarat mentioned, this is going to be an interactive session. So you will benefit mostly if you are interacting, if you're thinking and reflecting as we go through the session. And one of the things that I would have liked you to do for this session, as we are going to be doing an activity together, is have some sort of, we're going to be doing an activity which requires some sort of glittery or some highlighter type pens or gel pens. So with me, I've got my gel pens. So if you want to grab, you've got about 1 minute or 2 minutes to just grab some gel pens or some sort of colorful pens. I've kind of rummaged in my children's creative drawer and I've managed to get some green glitter for myself and some glue. And I've just got a scrap of gel stickers. So if you want to go and grab yourself some of those things, anything would do, even if it's just a regular pen. It means that you can really indulge in the activity that we're going to do together later on. So while you're doing that, also grab yourself a drink if you need to. I've got my lemon water. If you need to grab yourself some coffee to get you through the session, please do that so you stay hydrated and awake. And I always say, grab yourself a scrap of paper or a notepad and a pen, just so you can write down those aha moments, reflective moments. And there is going to be some note taking that I will suggest for you to take, which will help during the activity. So please go and grab yourself some of that stuff. This is a comfortable space. You are safe. We are here to hold your hand. But this is a recorded session. So please share what you feel comfortable sharing. If you wish to, please let us know in the chat how you're doing, where you're connecting in from, so we know which parts of the world we are. Milton Keynes, we've got Kenya, we've got Leeds, we've got Tanzania, we've got London. Wonderful, mashallah. Musarat, you're doing an amazing job. Mashallah.
Alhamdulillah.
So I'll just remind you guys during the session, please do take care of yourself. If you feel like you are triggered or you feel like you are feeling a bit overwhelmed by things that may be said during the session or feelings that you may feel or think, then just take care of yourself. You're welcome to leave if you feel that is appropriate for you to do so. We're here to look after you. Okay. Alaikum salam, Zahra from Kenya. Alaikum salam, Zaynab. Okay, so just tell you a little bit about the agenda in terms of what's going to be happening during this time that we are sharing together. I will introduce myself. We will have a little bit of a moment to feel present in this space. We will have a learn and know section where we will have some tips and takeaways. We will be doing a reflective activity together. We will be doing some shoe shopping. Yep, I said shoe shopping. I can see Musarat smiling. We will then open the floor to some questions. So if you have any questions during the session, please do jot them down so we can get those questions answered for you towards the end of the session during the question time. Anyone who's joining in, welcome. The session is being recorded. You are in a safe space. We're here to welcome you. Okay. Bismillah. So my name is Sabika Rezavi. I'm a mum. I have 3 beautiful children. I live in Birmingham, in Shirley, Solihull, in the UK, for everyone who doesn't know. I am known as the reparenting coach. So I guide beautiful souls, just like you beautiful souls that I've connected with us today, to reparent your inner child using the Enneagram to fulfill your own unmet needs. So you can create a life where you're thriving and not just surviving. So I'm going to be sharing a screen. There are a couple of slides that I'm going to be sharing with you. Give me 2 seconds from the beginning. Okay, so my mission as the reparenting coach is to reparent our nation so we can parent the next generation in the way that they individually need rather than from our own unmet needs. So we're going to welcome everyone who's joined in. Welcome everyone that's joined in, and just feel present in the space that we're in. Sorry, give me 2 seconds, just got a techie fault. Okay, so just to feel present in this space, what I'd like you to do is take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. I'd like you to rub your hands together. Just feel comfortable where you're sitting, whether you're sitting on a sofa, on a chair, on the floor, on a cushion. Just wiggle about, find yourself a nice comfortable position and posture to be in. Keep rubbing your hands. And the reason why I'm asking you to rub your hands is so your body starts to feel warmer. So your mind, your body, and your soul connects together. You start to feel that heat. If you wish to close your eyes and you feel comfortable to do so, please do. So you're in that space of calm and comfort. And when you're ready, your hands feel warm enough, place them gently on your eyes. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And when you're ready to join back in this space with these wonderful people, please do so. Okay. Can I just have a thumbs up or a virtual thumbs up if everybody can see those slides at the moment? Great, thank you, Musarat. So I will ask you and encourage you. I will encourage you all to virtually give me a thumbs up or a heart or something or another, just so I know that I'm talking to lovely, beautiful souls and not just black little boxes. Okay, did it again. So what is reparenting the mindset? Reparenting the mindset is connecting with the inner child as an adult today. It's there so you can heal, rewire, and ultimately reparent yourself. So you, as an adult, can fulfill those needs that you needed as a child. Simply because you know yourself the best. So the inner child was first coined in psychology by Carl Jung. Give me a thumbs up if you've heard of Carl Jung. So Carl Jung came up with the idea of the inner child. So it's decades old. Now, according to psychology, the definition of the inner child is a sub-personality that lives in the unconscious mind. Its experiences, feelings, thoughts, and emotions that you've lived as a child, and your subconscious or your unconscious mind is holding onto them. Now, you may not really be aware of the negative ones, especially because they have been buried so deep and are fragmented all over like a puzzle, and they're unknown to us. So what I'm going to ask you to do in the chat, if you can, hit me with your thoughts. Why do you think they are buried? Why do you think your thoughts are buried? Okay, so I can't see the chat. I can see the chat. Okay. Yep, Rifat, we don't want to face them. Kiran, conditioning to believe all is okay. Samira, I can't freely talk. Yeah, so all of those reasons are the reasons why our traumas, our wounds are unknown to us. They're so fragmented because they're disturbing and we don't want to know that they're there. So our brain fragments them and digs them deep inside of us because it doesn't want us to know that they exist. So they are buried so deep because they're disturbing, they're challenging, and they're traumatic. And our mind simply wants to protect us. But they directly impact how you are as an adult today. Now, Musarat, I'm just going to ask you one question. When you can see my screen, can you see the chat and anything else, or can you just see the slides?
I can see the chat and yeah, everything else.
Okay, so I'm just going to keep that out of the way. Okay, thank you. Okay, so to summarize that, reparenting is connecting back to your inner child and rewiring your mindset to get rid of those thoughts and feelings that are limiting you from living your happy and most positive life. Okay. So why are we adopting and wanting to adopt the mindset of Lady Zaynab? Simply because it's incredibly progressive. So to give you a little bit of history, Zaynab Bint Ali is granddaughter of the last prophet of Islam, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. She witnessed the tragic event of Karbala, where her family, women, children, were completely massacred in front of her. And in response to that, she said, "I saw nothing but beauty." Those iconic words, "I saw nothing but beauty," have always been like running a ribbon through my life. Now, I'd like you to raise your hands or send me a little heart or something that if you feel the same, or if you would like to feel the same. Do you want those iconic words, "I saw nothing but beauty," to run as a ribbon through your life? Thank you. So when I started my journey of reparenting, I naturally stuck those exact words on my vision board, expecting it to rule my mindset. And now I'm not I'm not comparing our tragedies, yours and mine, to hers, because what she experienced was a tragedy that we could not handle. What we experience in our tragedies, in our lives today, are tragedies that we can handle. Like, for example, the past 2 years, I've been living in a building site, for anyone that knows or wants to know. And it's been incredibly, incredibly difficult for me. Of course, there've been a multitude of other things as well. And some of you might have difficulties with, or challenges with kids, with your husband, with in-laws, or with illnesses or health or work or no work. Now, this session that we're doing today is about seeing those exact challenges that pop to your mind just now, seeing them as beautiful, learning to move towards the light. For example, like smiling in the face of the one that broke us, or choosing to take responsibility, and walk in joy through those situations that crippled us. Thank you, Sabika. And yeah, you've probably heard of this before, and me and Musarat were actually just talking about this just before we started the session. You've definitely heard of this before, especially in the masjid. But I wanted to share with you how to do that, not just to do that, and not just to say it, how to practically implement reparenting your mindset to see beauty. Okay. So I'm going to share with you a book. It's a little scrappy book that I like to use and have worked through, got lots of things sticking out and lots of papers and lots of highlighting and lots of writing inside. So the title of this book is The 5 Things That We Cannot Change and the Happiness We Find in Embracing Them by David Richo. If you've heard of this book, if you've read it, if you've come across it, if you've been recommended it, give me a thumbs up, give me a heart, give me a I have, give me an amen in the chat, whatever you wish you need to do. Okay, so this book touches on psychology and mysticism, spirituality, touches on Islam, Christianity, Judaism, Buddhism. So lots of different things being pulled into one book. It's about accepting the givens or the facts of life. We are powerless to these facts of life. We cannot change them because they're built into the nature of things, okay? So we humans, very special humans, think that we have control of our lives, but we really don't. There's 5 givens or 5 facts, as Rico says, regardless of our background, regardless of where we're living in the world, regardless of our financial background or of our gender or of any kind of background, we all experience these 5 facts. We all experience these core challenges, okay? So Rico explains that we need to stop living in denial of these 5 facts. Simply resisting this is resisting the truth. If we continue to resist these truths, then we have endless disappointments, endless frustrations and sorrows. So what I'd like you to do is, as I'm going to go through the five facts, as we go through them, what I'd like you to do is just jot down each fact or each given, jot it down with the number. And then as I'm going through that, I'd like you to jot down your reflection of how that relates to your life, okay? Now, interacting and really reflecting and writing these things down will be helpful to you because it means that you're taking as much as you can from this session. And it means that you have things to reflect and think about later on, okay? So, number 1, are you guys ready? I feel like I need to do a drum roll. Number 1, So for anyone who will be watching this as a recording later on, please do the same, okay? Take out a notepad, take out a pen, jot down how this relates to you. You have the ability to pause and reflect, but those who are live don't. But please do reflect and write down what comes up for you. So fact number 1, everything changes and ends. Change and end is inevitable for any person, for any relationship, for any hobby, or for anything. Nothing is perfect. Nothing is permanently satisfying or permanently anything, really. Our bodies age, relationships go through phases, possessions deteriorate, and our memories wane. And quite frankly, nature changes too. And it's important to note that naturally, as humans, we can accept the end of something. We really can accept the end of something. And that's why we have the ability to mourn. So reparenting, my mind, to accept everything changes and ends, really and truly made me accept death instead of fearing it. Okay, so I was really scared of death because death is the ultimate end. But by reparenting my mindset and embracing this rule, it helped me to embrace death. I've grown to accept it. So Rico, in his book, used the example that we cannot recover a mother who has passed on. We can accept it, but we cannot recover a mother who has passed on. But we can grow to experience motherly moments with nurturant others. Your mother won't be replaced, but you won't then feel alone. You will feel reconnected with other people. Everything changes and ends. I'm just going to apologize just now. My mic was completely up and I didn't realize, and I've just noticed in the chat, my mic is not near my mouth. And now it is. Thank you, Michelle. Okay, can you guys hear me now? Let me know in the chat. Okay, so that was our first rule. Everything changes and ends. Number 2, thanks, it's now okay, Marizia, great, thank you. Number 2, things do not always go according to plan. Perfect discipline, perfect control is the best way of missing the joy of life, okay? Things don't always go according to plan, and I think we all know that. Changing of plans is like the synchronicity or the mysterious coincidental circumstances that just happen in life. It's just magical. Allowing it and embracing that flow is trusting the divine plan. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example. J.K. Rowling. You've all probably heard of her. If not her name, Harry Potter, okay, the author of Harry Potter. She was a divorced single mum who was living on benefits. While she was writing her first Harry Potter book, she described herself as being as poor as it can possibly be to be in modern Britain without being homeless. And during her time of need, she was also diagnosed with clinical depression and she contemplated suicide. She didn't plan to be a single parent. She didn't plan to struggle financially or to have depression. But she did turn her tragedies to triumph. Things don't always go to plan. If we feel comfortable to commit to deal with what happens and make the best of it, that is where we will flourish. So for example, if I reflected on my own wounds and traumas and my own childhood, I didn't plan to witness my brother get shot when I was 7. I didn't plan to hold on to that trauma And I didn't plan to not receive any support for 23 years. But if all of that didn't go according to the divine plan, then I wouldn't be sitting here in front of you beautiful souls today. And I wouldn't be the reparenting coach. So Rico says, embracing the perfection of all that is allows us to rest serenely in it. Things do not always go to plan. So what I'd like you to do is, I'd like you to jot down one thing that didn't go to plan for you. Anything. Nothing is trivial. It's you. It's for your life. What didn't go to plan for you? You didn't continue your studies. Your food got burnt last night. You didn't marry the right person. You didn't plan to have your kids so close together. What didn't go to plan for you? Jot that down. Okay. Fact number 3. Life is not always fair. Sometimes we do all of the right things, but we still wind up losing. Sometimes we act so cautiously, but we still get hurt. And sometimes we act with really good intentions straight from the heart, and our efforts might be misinterpreted. It's about meeting our losses with loving kindness. Rico talks of the ego. The ego is linked to fear, attachment, control, and entitlement. Life's experiences makes us fearful. We sometimes feel attacked. We want control and we feel entitled. When that rules us, we feel life is not fair. So when we let fear rule us, life becomes not fair. When we feel attacked, life becomes not fair. When we feel like we want control, life becomes not fair. A mindful Buddhist would spot his ego at work. He would spot those things. He would label the fear. They would label the attachment. They would label the control and label the entitlement. We're not entitled above anybody else. If we feel we are, that's when life becomes not fair. It's all about accepting. We win some and we simply just lose some, because life is not always fair. Okay, so I'd like you to take a moment to jot down something that you thought just wasn't fair. Did you ever say to yourself, why me? And you didn't have to complain to anybody else. It could have just been a self-thought or a conversation between you and Allah and you and God. Why me? Why not them? Why do I have to suffer? And I really encourage you during the session, and for anybody else that's watching this on record, to connect with yourself, to reflect and write something down, because during our activity, we are going to be pulling on these. So it's something that we're going to be working with. Okay. 2 more left, guys. Number 4, pain is part of life. The first noble truth of Buddhism, in simple words, I really wanted to make this simple for everyone, is pain is not punishment, and pleasure is not reward. They simply just exist. Suffering is seen as an ingredient to growth. It's not an evil test. It's really not. And Allah and God, or the divine universe, would rather has built pain part of nature. It's in the very nature of change. It's part of it. For example, if you have sudden physical pain, Musarrat knows that I've been messaging her since last night about my sudden physical pain in my ankle. Chronic illness, pain of losing a loved one, pain of losing a parent or a child or a friend, the pain in the loss of financial stability, or of pain of divorce. These can all be seen as pains. God, Allah, really is loving, And he's not there to catch us out or to smite us down. He's there to guide us to grow. We need to reparent our mindset to see pain as beautiful. These pains are nourishments. They're a way for us to recognize ourselves. And I wanted to give you the example actually of a parent. So if there was a parent, if you are parents yourself, you can resonate with this. A parent would try to protect their child as much as possible from all pains, but they can't protect them from every pain. Not all pains can be protected from. Pain happens. Children get hurt, okay? The child learns from their mistakes and they won't do it next time, though sometimes they do, okay? This is what Allah or God is doing for us. We learn from that pain. With hardship will be ease. Give me a heart if you know that ayah. Okay, from the Quran 94:06. We have to work on that mindset to see that ease. That ease doesn't just come. We have to work on it to see it. It doesn't just appear out of nowhere. Ease is seeing the beauty in that specific moment. It's about having sabr and patience and happiness in that moment, in that pain, rather than simply just tolerating it and waiting for the day to pass, or for the moment, or for that time to pass. It's about embracing that pain with happiness and saying thank you. Pain is inevitable. Embrace it. So I'd like you to jot down, reflect. What was the most painful moment in your life? Was there something that literally brought you down to your knees, so difficult that you couldn't cope with it? And this isn't about comparing you to anybody else. It's not about Zaynab comparing herself to Michelle or to Marzia or to Bilal. None of you know what is going on in anybody else's lives. What was that one pain that brought you down, nearly broke you? Maybe it did. Okay. Last but definitely not least, number 5. People are not loving and loyal all the time. People are dishonest. They lie, they break us. They're hypocrites and can be really not friendly. Quite often, and sadly for some, that can come from our own family and close friends, and it can really hurt. Some people just are like that. Everyone has their own baggage, their own wounds, and their own traumas. And it's really not about accepting. It is about accepting and noticing that people can be like that without the retaliation. And that's where you want to be. It's okay to feel the pain, to feel sad, to feel hurt, that somebody's hurt you, but not allow it to destabilize us. And it's not about accepting immoral actions. And immoral action is an immoral action at the end of the day. And it's not even about forgiveness, okay? It's acceptance. And I know, Kulsum, it is the hardest part. It really is the hardest part to accept, okay? And I'm not even telling you to sit on forgiveness. It's about accepting. Accepting that people are not loving and loyal all the time. They're just not. And then it's about looking deeper into ourselves, into our childhood, into questioning, why is it that this person is so triggering for me? Yeah. So all relationships and people we encounter really are a mirror for us. If we don't like something in someone else, it's because it's deep within us. We might not notice it, but it really is deep within us. The good stuff that we see in people, if somebody's really helpful, it doesn't trigger us because it's in us as well, right? So the things that we don't like in people, oh, this person is really like this, is because that is really and truly deep within us, okay? That might hurt to hear that, but I'm here to tell the truth, to speak the truth. And this is all about shadow work, okay? To see what is in you and what you can work with. Now, recently, I put out a post on Facebook and I said, I am a liar. I'm selfish because I really am. I saw that trait in someone else. I saw somebody else being a liar and I really disliked it. I saw the trait of being selfish in someone else and I really disliked it. And then I reflected, how is that inside of me? It is. I am a liar. I lie because I say I'm okay. Do you all do that? Have you done that before? Raise your hand, give me a heart, give me a thumbs up. Do you lie to say you're okay when you're not? I'm selfish because I hold my authentic self. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Kulsum. I hold my authentic self back so not everybody sees it. I'm selfish. I am selfish. Not everybody sees my authentic self. I am a liar and I am selfish. Okay. So what we see in others is a reflection of what is inside of ourselves. It's the fear of acknowledging it. Thank you, Kulsum. It's the fear of acknowledging it, but it's there. And it's there because it's there to help us grow. Okay. So I'd like you to take this moment to jot down someone's name. No one can see this but you. This is for you to reflect on. Someone's name, something they did or didn't do, something that really broke you, literally broke you. Okay. There's therapy in writing this person's name down, trust me. Okay. So to conclude, those 5 points, Rico has given us in this wonderful book, this wonderful scrappy little book, he's given us 5 facts which causes suffering. And he insists that if we reject them, they will continue to cause suffering. If we struggle against them, they are the source of our own troubles. By accepting and embracing them as beautiful, we gain happiness. This is how to gain our own personal evolution. And this is how you rewire and reparent the mindset. So Rico says it's only amid challenging conditions, when we're really struggling, when we're really broken, that we can evolve. Accept these 5 givens, these 5 facts, these 5 rules as gifts. Let go and let God. These 5 facts of life that you should look out for are about embracing the challenges that arise from them. It's about seeing them as beautiful, calling on the quote by Bibi Zaynab. They're beautiful and they're unchangeable. Accept them and embrace them. Okay. Now, what I wanted to do at the end of these 5 points is not just give them to you and just walk off and let you do whatever you want with them. I wanted to give you something concrete, an actionable takeaway, so you can actually train your brain to accept these givens, to accept these 5 rules, okay? And to embrace the negative, challenging people or the moments that you have in your life. So I wanted to share with you a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful smiley person called Coach Shirzad. Okay. Oops. Oopsie. Okay, so this is Coach Shirzad. Everybody say hello to his wonderful smile. He's a very happy, jolly person. I've just been trained by Coach Shirzad with PQ Reps and his Positive Intelligence program. And he's got a couple of recorded sessions, which are just audio. There's a picture on screen and it's just audio, but I could literally hear his smile as he was talking in the videos. Such a wonderful person. Okay, so Coach Shirzad is a lecturer at Stanford University. He's an author, he's a researcher. If you Google his name, Coach Shirzad, everything comes up for him. Okay, so Coach Shirzad introduces PQ reps to build mental muscle, which creates positive mental habits to improve mental fitness. Okay, so PQ stands for positive intelligence. Okay, so it's the title and author of the book. Yep, so the author is Coach Shirzad and his book is just here on the left, Positive Intelligence. Okay, if you type his name in Google, it'll come up. Okay, cool. So PQ stands for Positive Intelligence Quotient. Is the same as IQ, EQ, emotional intelligence, IQ. PQ stands for positive intelligence, okay? And he just uses PQ for a shorter version. It's all about sage versus saboteurs. So sage is the good emotions and saboteurs are the negative emotions. It's a bit like the Jedi versus Darth Vader kind of thing going on there. If there's any Star Wars fans in the house, give me a whoop whoop, put your hands up, make some noise. So sage, the good emotions, sit on the right side of the brain, okay? And the saboteurs live on the left side of the brain. And let me just see the next slide. Yep, this is going to explain it a lot better for all of you. So all habits, every single habit that we have, follow neural pathways. So this, oopsie. So this here, what am I doing? So this here is the neural pathway. It can either go this way to saboteurs or it can go this way to sage. Okay, so it can either go left or right from the event. So all habits are neural pathways. And from childhood, we've been strengthening the negative muscle pathway. The negative muscle pathway is the saboteur pathway. Okay, so there's events, and by strengthening the negative pathway, we've been doing things like believing our thoughts and limiting beliefs. For example, believing that we're not clever enough, we're not good under pressure, that person doesn't like me, or something always happens to go wrong. I won't be able to handle it. The bread and the milk is always finished when I go to the grocery store. That one of the kids is always going to moan when I pick them up from school. Is God punishing me for something? That's why I've got these in-laws, that husband, that family, that illness, that job, that no job. Oh, my life. That's literally what happens, okay? So since childhood, those negative emotions have been constantly strengthening the saboteur, the negative muscle pathway. So it's super, super strong, okay? So all negative thoughts we have in our daily life, every single day, every single minute, strengthen the saboteur pathway. And it's all to do with fear, shame, stress, anger, insecurity, all of these things which are negative, okay? So reparenting your mindset is all about strengthening the sage pathway on the right side, okay? The positive pathway. So you think with empathy, with creativity, with curiosity, with passion, etc. It really is, you can see in the diagram, it's literally a fork in the road kind of choice. It really is, but it takes practice and discipline. Okay, so I'm not just going to leave it at that. I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay. So there's many ways to do PQ reps. I'm going to show you just one, because I believe in simplicity. I believe in manageability, if that's even a word. I believe in doability. I believe in things that can actually be done in your day-to-day life, anywhere and everywhere. Okay, even while you're cooking, even if you're in the store, even if you're at work, even if you're just about to walk onto a stage in front of 100 people, you can do this. It takes 10 seconds. Okay. What I'd like you all to do is get your thumb and your finger and very gently just rub them together. If you feel you need to close your eyes, close your eyes. If you don't want to close your eyes, you don't need to. Rub them together with such attention that you can literally feel the grooves and the fingerprint of your fingers. Okay. That's it. That's all it is for 10 seconds. Okay. Now, the process is that you spot yourself feeling those negative emotions. You stop. You acknowledge it. You tell yourself you're in saboteur, negative mode, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Okay. Because if you stay in saboteur mode, in the negative mode, for literally more than a second, then you're hijacked. And that's all you need to know. So you command yourself to stop when you feel a negative emotion, when you feel somebody is being negative towards you, or you feel like you're being bombarded by negative events that are happening in your life or people, you stop. You command yourself to stop. Do your PQ rep for 10 seconds. That quietens the saboteur and that strengthens the sage. Okay. Tell yourself, I know every problem can be a beautiful gift and opportunity. This pause activates empathy for yourself and for others. To be curious, to explore what's really going on. It's to innovate and think out of the box, to navigate and activate thoughts. By practicing that PQ rep, it strengthens the positive thinking region of your brain. That pause, that 10-second PQ rep, redirects and reparents your mindset. So your next thoughts after those 10 seconds follow the positive neural pathway. That's all it takes. It really is simple, but it takes practice and discipline, but it works. And the more you practice it, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, the more stronger that self-command muscle pathway will be. So if I was to give you some of my own examples, the same situations that have given me suicidal thoughts in the past, now, because I've been practicing PQ reps and working on my sage positive pathway, I now smile in the face of those very things that gave me suicidal thoughts. Everything outside and around me is exactly the same. It's only the inside, my mindset, my reparenting, my soul, everything inside of me has changed. It's simple. And it really doesn't have to be complicated. As human beings, we feel like something has to be so complicated for it to work. It doesn't. We have a habit to believe that only those complicated things work. But practicing those PQ reps would lead you to a more sage positivity mindset and less of a negative one in your life. It's the same as muscle building. When you go to the gym or just in your body, the more you practice, the stronger you get. The more you practice the sage, the positive, the stronger that will get. By the click of your finger, it would literally just click into place. Okay, but it takes practice. That means any problems you face at work, as a parent, in relationships, in your life, you will learn to see the positivity in that. And as a lesson, as growth, And ultimately, you will see it as beautiful. Okay. And this is where the tool of using PQ reps helps you to embrace the 5 facts of life, and where you can actually live. I saw nothing but beauty. Okay. I'd like you all to just take a moment. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know what your thoughts are in the chat. If you want to come and share verbally, come off mute and do so, please do so. I won't be able to see everyone, but Musarat might be able to help me with that. And if she can see anyone with a raised hand, just let me know how you're feeling. Do you like this PQ rep? Do you feel it's too simple? Do you think it's not going to work? What are your thoughts? Give me a thumbs up, give me a heart, give me a wiggle, give me something so I know that I'm talking to beautiful souls out there. Great. Yeah. Wonderful. There's a reason why I've taken this moment to just connect with all of you and to share this space with you again. We are going to be moving on to our activity soon. So if you want to take a minute to just stretch yourself, stretch your legs, go and grab a drink, please do so. Wusa, breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth before we get onto the activity, and we reflect some more. Wonderful. I love these roses and these smiley faces coming through, really amazing. Good, wonderful. I do urge you to really look after these notes that you've written down. We are going to be using them, but also to reflect on these moments and these things that are coming up for you. Okay, wonderful. Fatima, the session is being recorded at the moment, so Musarat will let you know however that's going to be put up and where it's going to be put up. I'm sure she'll give you the details at the end. Great. I think, Amina, I'm just reading your message. I think such techniques are very beneficial. It's the small steps we take that truly have an impact. Yeah. And it really is about discipline and routine of using those and not overusing too many things. Pick one, pick two. We've only got 2 hands. Pick 1 or 2 things that are manageable and do them regularly, every day, every second. Do this, use it. Okay. I swear to you, you will see the benefits. I have used it, I have seen the benefits, and there's so many hundreds and thousands of more people that Coach Shirzad has been training. It works, it really does, okay? It takes determination and discipline. Fantastic, okay. We're going to be moving on to our next part, which is the activity. I'll just move these out the way so you can have a look and see. Okay. So this is going to be a reflective activity. And it's all about acceptance of the greater plan. And I'm a big believer in doing things practically. I love play therapy and everything to do with getting messy and physically, practically doing something, because it makes that learning that you've done, uses it in a different form. So I'm hoping that this helps to solidify the concept of all I see is beauty. Okay, fantastic. So as you see on the screen, there is something called a belief, actually, called kintsugi. I'm hoping that I've pronounced that correctly. As I researched it, I came across this kintsukuroi as well, which I didn't come across before. So I've only come across kintsugi before. So that was interesting that there's another word for it as well. Okay, so what I would like you to do is, well, let me give you a little bit of information about this. So kintsugi is basically a belief or thought process, a mindset actually, even, where in Japan, broken objects, like as you see, the bowls, are often repaired with gold. And that's because the flaw, the crack, the brokenness, if that's a word, is seen as a unique piece of the object's history. It adds to the beauty. Can I get an amen? Sorry. Consider this when you feel broken, okay? Those wounds, those traumas, those cracks, those brokenness, those tragedies, every single one of them is beautiful. It's made you the person that you are today. It's made you everything that you are and everything that you give, okay? Embrace them. So during our activity, we're going to be doing something. This is going to be a bit of a Blue Peter-ness going on at the moment. We're going to be making something which may look similar to this. Okay, it doesn't look very impressive. Just pretend it's very impressive. Okay, people. So we're going to be going towards something like that. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is the challenges, the things that you wrote down when we were talking about the 5 rules. I asked you after each one to write down a reflection of how it relates to you. Okay, if there's any missing, just fill them in. So reflect back on those challenges that you wrote down, the 5 that you wrote down. Okay, I'd like you to grab yourself a piece of paper. I feel like a Blue Peter person at the moment. Grab yourself a piece of paper, and on that piece of paper, I'd like you to write down the challenges, the 5 challenges that you had written down on your notes. Okay, so write down those on the paper. And I'm literally doing this as we speak at the moment. Okay, I'm writing down my 5 challenges as well. Had to take a deep breath because I'm really reflecting on this moment. Okay. Take this moment to reflect on yourself, on your life, on the people around you. Write down those 5 challenges. So I've got 3 so far on my paper. Okay. I've got 4. Okay. When you've got all 5 of yours written down, I'd like you to get your paper. Just give me a thumbs up or a heart or something to let me know that you're following what I'm doing. To get your paper and to feel, really just feel that paper. Breathe through it, feel the smoothness of it. Go around the corners if you feel that you need to without getting yourself a paper cut. And then I'd want you to scrunch it up tight into a ball, okay? Scrunch up that paper into a ball. Those are your challenges. Those are your 5 challenges that you've written down today. That in that ball, in that scrunched up paper, are the 5 painful things that may have broken you, that have made you sad, that have made you cry on your pillow at night, that have made you close the bathroom door and sit on the floor crying. Those are those 5 challenges that have made you not tell other people because you feel like you weren't worthy of telling those people. Those are your 5 challenges, nobody else's. Okay. Then I want you to open up that paper. Open it out. And just look, really observe and look at the creases. Look at the cracks. Look at the creases. Feel them. Feel them and see how different they are from that smooth paper that you had before. Okay. Now I'd like you to go over those cracks with whatever you have to hand, whatever you've gathered, whether it's some gel pens. Just go over those cracks, over those lines, and you might see that there's so many. Look at them closely, okay? Look at one part at a time. Take a couple of moments to just really get into yourself, lose yourself in those challenges, lose yourself in those cracks. Go over with a pen, go over the cracks. Highlight them, show them They're beautiful. Go over them with glue. So I went over my cracks with some Pritt stick, and then I shook some glitter on them. And the purpose of this is to accept and see the beauty in the greater plan, in those challenges, okay? Beautify those challenges, beautify those things that brought you down to your knees. See the positives in them. There's growth. There's growth in those, in every single one of those things that you've written down. There's growth in how you can be a better person. Allow the light to shine through them. Choose to illuminate them. It's your choice. And allow the lessons and the light to come through. Those cracks, those challenges, those creases, those wounds, those difficulties, those traumas, every single one of them is beautiful because they hold lessons in it for you. It's there in your life for a reason. They are present in your life because you can manage them and you can overcome them. Only what we can manage is given to us, okay? 100% of every single difficult place, difficult thought, difficult event you've been through, you've survived. And you can't say that about anything. You can't say 100% about anything. You have survived 100% of every single difficult situation that you've been in. Those difficult situations are there to mold you. There is beauty and lessons in every single one of those cracks. Feel it with your hands. Feel those cracks. And this doesn't mean, again, it doesn't mean that we approve of immoral actions. If one of those challenges is somebody else, or if somebody has done something to wrong you, it's not approving of those immoral actions, but it's accepting them. It's accepting the circumstances that you have been put into, and accepting, though immensely difficult, and so many of you have mentioned this in the chat as well, it's immensely difficult. Accepting it is the first step to growing. So really take that moment to feel that paper, feel those challenges, accept them. It's there for you, it's yours, it's a gift. And as Rumi says, it's through the wound that the light enters, and that's where you find growth. Okay, so if anybody would like to share how, if you would like to continue in that zone and continue being in that space by yourself, please feel free to do so. But if anybody would like to share how that feels for them, are they finding it challenging? Are they finding it difficult? Have you cried? Are you upset about seeing those challenges? Do you feel it's absurd to tell someone to just accept it? Is it a difficult place to be in? It is. It's a very difficult thing to do, but with the PQ reps, with discipline, with practicing them, and with accepting those 5 given rules that are unchangeable, you really can get there. You really can. Okay. We're going to do something a little bit fun now. This was fun too, wasn't it? It was fun. I liked it. Very reflective. And anybody who's watching this video later on as a recorded session, I really hope that this was as wonderful for you as it was for us. And I really would like, and this is for everyone, I really would like you to keep this that you've made and see it as a reminder that your challenges are beautiful, and every challenge is a challenge. It's not comparing to anybody else. Every challenge is a challenge. Okay, so it's a reminder for you to see and to remind yourself that when the next challenge comes along, it is beautiful. Okay, great. Maria, if that's how you pronounce your name, sorry if it's not. The book is called The 5 Things. It's a scrappy little book that I have, sorry. The 5 things that we cannot change and the happiness we find in embracing them, by David Richo. What I'll do is at the end, I will share again on screen what the book was, if that's helpful to any of you, if you want to. And there's so much. I've really immensely simplified this down and given you just those 5 and just taken out the core points so you can be able to remember them and reflect on them. But there's so much in that book. It's a wonderful book, and you know, it's the reason why it's so scrappy is because it's one of my most used books, and I reflect and go into it quite a lot. Okay, right. We're going to go shoe shopping. Now, I did mention this at the beginning of the session, and I did say that we are going to go shoe shopping. And yes, by shoe shopping, I do mean shoe shopping, virtual shoe shopping. Okay, so I would like you to choose a shoe. I'm going to do a bit of clicking. You're going to see a couple of shoes come up, and I'm going to ask you to choose a shoe. Which one is your favorite? Okay. And the reason why I did this is because I wanted to let you know that the colors that represent me as the reparenting coach are black, white, and yellow. And for every session that I do, every event, every place that you will see me while I'm being the reparenting coach, I will be wearing black, white, and yellow. Okay, so it's not because those are the only clothes I have. There's a reason and a purpose behind it. I can see Musarad laughing because I'm very sure that she was thinking this. Why does she always wear the same scarf and clothes? So yeah, there's a purpose behind the black, white, and the yellow. And the purpose behind it is that, sorry, could I just ask whoever's on loud to just go on mute, please? So the reason why I have the black and white is because within us, within all of us, inside of us, and with our lives, there is darkness and there is light. Okay, and it's embracing the dark and the light, the black and the white. It's embracing it together. We can't have the light without the dark. The dark is illuminated with the light. The light shines bright because there is darkness next to it. Okay, and the yellow is the joy of experiencing that life, embracing joy and experiencing the dark and the light. And yes, of course, there is, Kiran, yes, it is about a bee too. And it's there to remind you that within us and in our lives, there is darkness and there is light. It's the yellow, the joyness of embracing all of that. Okay, so I also wanted to show you my yellow shoes. These are my yellow shoes. Okay, now I'd like you to choose your own yellow shoes. What yellow shoes do you like? They haven't got numbers on them, but if you want, let me know in the chat. Let me know. Do you like the heels? Do you like the yellow and black ones? Well, they're all yellow and black nearly. Do you like the yellow and black trainers with the black laces? Do you like the yellow Crocs? Do you like the yellow and white knitted type that are easy to pull on and put off? The yellow and black boots? Why can't you choose mules? Let me see. Have I got mules in here? Let me know. Have I got mules? No? Do I? No. Oh, I've got another pair of yellow heels. Fancy. Yellow and white. Manur likes the yellow and white. Okay, I think I've got, this is the last one. Who wants the Crocs? Oh, not the Crocs, sorry, they're clogs. These are the Crocs and these are the clogs. Okay, so there is a purpose behind why I've asked you to choose your yellow shoes. Samira likes the first ones. Mario likes the yellow and white. Look, they look comfy. Yeah, they do look comfy. Okay, so there is a purpose why I'm asking you to choose yellow shoes. Mental resilience, recognizing and accepting that your struggle is a stepping stone, is where your growth begins. I've chosen to walk in joy through my life's challenges. I've chosen yellow shoes. They are my shoes of joy. Embracing my challenges. What shoes will you choose? Okay, so just to summarize, we are coming to the end of the session and starting to wrap up. To summarize, we've been introduced to what reparenting the mindset is. We have understood what adopting the words "I saw nothing but beauty" means. You've been introduced to the 5 things in life that we cannot change and we should embrace. We've shared the 1 10-second actionable takeaway PQ reps. It takes practice and discipline. And we've also done a reflective activity, reminding you of how your challenges can look beautiful if you reparent your mindset. Okay, so if you would like my contact details, it's on screen. My email address is there, sabika@gmail.com. You can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Sabika Rezavi. And do follow me, because I put on lots of exciting things about how to reparent yourself, lots of tips, takeaways, actionable things that you can do. I also share about the Enneagram. If you haven't been introduced to it, follow me, trust me, you'll find out. And also coming up soon enough is going to be my next event, hopefully, which will be titled "Is My Own Inner Child Jealous of My Child?" So that's a wrap. That is the end of the session. What I would like to do, though, is open up the space. You can ask any questions. If you feel you need to ask a question, please do. And I will hand back to Musarat now, and then she can continue with.
Thank you so much, Sabika. That was really interesting. Do you want me to stop the recording, so if anybody wants to ask any questions, would that probably would work better, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that would be good. Thank you.